Hey everybody, so happy to have you. Welcome, welcome. If you don't know, obviously, my name is John Lee from Dashboard Dudes, and I am very, very excited to have you here. Hey, as you're coming in, don't worry about being a little bit late, not a problem. We're all coming off of meetings and whatnot. I would still love for you to type in something that you like to cook in the chat so that I could read it later. That's what I'd like to see. Okay, cool. Let's talk about today. So we're going to talk about getting Domo jobs specifically, and I want to, Steve, steak. And then we got brownies and steak. I love it. Okay. Anyway, welcome, welcome. We're going to talk about finding Domo jobs, and I want to give you some stories, show you some new features that are up there for Dashboard Dudes and how I can help out. And I'm very, very excited about this one. Probably the most excited I've been in a long time about some new webinar stuff. Now, before we get started, if you've been to some of my webinars before, you know that I like to make this super interactive. I'm an only child, so I have loneliness, abandonment issues, so I need to have feedback and responses. So one that I'm going to ask you to do is I'm going to ask you to do a scuba symbol, which means okay. By the way, sorry if you'd never scuba dived. This means I'm doing okay. This means I need to go up to breathe for air. So I would love to see an okay scuba symbol using the emoji. Oh, we got people on it already. We're okay because we have Cajun pasta. It's just helping us out. Welcome, welcome, new folks. I love it. I love it. Hey, if you're brand new, if you just joined, what we're doing is I would love for you to type into the chat something that you like to cook at home and also give me a scuba symbol to show me that you're following along. Good. I love it. Love it, everybody. All right. So the first thing is we got scuba symbols down. Boom. Second, please save any questions for the end. I'll try to get to them as much as possible. Oh yeah, Caldo. Caldo is very good. Calderes. This recording will also be emailed to you, so you do not have to worry. I'll send it all out. I'll put all that piece out there. Cool. And I promise this will be fun and this will be memorable. All right, let's get into it. Let's move. So I've been doing Dashboard Dudes for a while now, for about 3 years. And I get this question all the time. And this question is, hey, John, do you have any work or that you could toss my way or know of any Domo job opportunities? And for the longest time, I was very frustrated because I would say don't. I really don't. I don't even know how to go find that. And it was hard for me. But today I'm going to show you some really fun stuff that I think is going to change that entirely. And we're going to talk about finding Domo jobs, getting Domo jobs, and keeping Domo jobs. Okay? All right. So I'd like to first start off with a little bit about myself. I went to Northwestern for undergrad, and then I went to do management consulting for PwC. And if anybody has done management consulting, it's a grind, and they really kind of put you through the ringer. But that's where I've developed a lot of analytical skills, very high user at Excel. For instance, one of my clients was Morgan Stanley, and truthfully, we had to learn how to use Excel without using the mouse at all or the trackpad. It had to be all shortcuts. And you might be like, why does that matter? Because if a investment bank is purchasing a consulting company, the consulting company always needs to look more polished than the client. So we had to just be right at least on par with them of Excel skills. So you have to use it all with just shortcuts. Then after that, I went to United Airlines full time, where I did a lot of analytical work on the frequent flyer program. So status, if you ever had issues with status, that's my team. That was me. And then here's where I want to get to. In 2016, I started working for Granger, which if you know, it's this big supplier and all this other stuff. And that's where I got introduced to Domo. The analytics team had Domo, and I said, "Hey, there's this thing called Domo. Can I get a license? Can I just play with it?" And they gave me one. And this was in 2016, where there were no videos at all on how to use Domo. They were just little write-ups here and there. But I just learned, I got into it, I kind of broke stuff, figured it out, and just kept doing it again and again and again. And I got really, really good at using Domo, where more teams wanted me to make stuff for them. And it was just me playing with it at first. And then that's where I really learned that I'm pretty good at this Domo thing. So then I started doing some work on Upwork. If anybody knows Upwork, it was to get some extra cash. I'm like, well, if I'm pretty good at this, I wonder if other people need this as well. So I did some work on Upwork, and then there I was getting some traction. I'm like, okay, cool. And honestly, from then on, I moved to some other companies. This was a car thing. This was another ad agency thing. But since then, I have used Domo in every single career every single job that I've had. And I'm telling you this because it has been a fantastic way for me to show my value to different companies, especially if they have no clue what Domo is at first. I go in, I say, hey, there's this Domo tool. I show them, they love it. So I can show value and it makes me irreplaceable because now not only am I the analytics person, I'm the analytics person who also knows Domo super well and is training other people in the organization. So this has been a huge game changer for my career. And as you can see here in March of this past year at Domopalooza, hey, I would actually love to know if anybody was at Domopalooza, if you can put a little scuba symbol in the chat, that'd be kind of cool. But I got Educator of the Year. Love it. I got Educator of the Year. This is me speaking in front of 410 people at a big presentation where I made spring rolls on stage. And then recently, I just got back from Japan where I spoke at Domopalooza Japan with this guy Noah. We showed some really cool stuff, which I'll send an email out about what we just released for Domo. Love it. Good, good. I'm glad people like the spring rolls. In Japan, we made s'mores. And what's funny is no one outside of America knows what s'mores are. They're like, "What is this thing? Graham crackers?" They're like, "What?" So it was a very new world for them. Okay, cool. Love it. How we doing, everybody? Feeling good? Feeling good so far? We're moving. Good. So much some scuba symbols. I love it. Seeing people highly engaged. Okay, let's get to. Thank you, thank you. Let's get to the root of why we're here today. So I told you before, I had a lot of people who were telling me, they were saying, hey, I'm looking for some extra work, maybe a new full-time thing. Maybe I'm just looking for some side stuff. Do you happen to have anything? Said at first I didn't. And this is the problem right now. It's crazy, right? You have to find 1,000 jobs to apply to 100. You have to apply to 100 to get to one. This is me saying this. This is what I think about a lot, and it's really really difficult. How do you even find 1,000 jobs? You have to kind of just search. Maybe something pops up on LinkedIn, maybe you find something through Indeed, maybe you hear it from a friend. Who knows? It's really tricky. So I got super frustrated with that, and I have a surprise gift for everybody. So let's go to dashboard dues. So if you are a Dashboard Dudes member, you're going to see this new thing. You should have, if you are a current member, you should have just gotten an email today that said you just got enrolled in Domo Job Board. And that's going to be right here. So these are all these other courses that I have. Click that thing, and I'm just going to put it right here. And here is something super brand new that I have in here. I have an aggregator, a Domo job aggregator. So what I'm doing is I'm pulling jobs from LinkedIn, from Indeed, from ZipRecruiter, from Monster, from Upwork, from Domo itself, and I'm putting it all in a one spot for you so that you can see it. And they all have to have at least the word Domo somewhere in the either job title or description, so you know it's going to apply. So look at this. I'm seriously looking at this for the first time. NBC is hiring somebody for an analyst role in digital analytics. That's pretty cool. So what you can do here is you could click on this. Let's find out. It'll bring you to LinkedIn if you want to apply for it, but you can also do this. I could just click it right here. There we go. And I can read what they're looking for. Job description. Let's see. There we go. There's Domo, looking for someone that has experience in SQL, Excel, visualization such as Tableau, Looker, Domo. Boom. So it's right there. I think this is super cool because it puts it in one spot for you. So that's one little trick. And this is pulling every single day. Every day it's scraping and pulling in jobs for you. Hey, what if you're like, that's cool, but I don't want to move. I want something fully remote. We got it right here. Remote only, search, boom. Now you can see, oh, RevOps Force. You could see what is remote only if you want to apply for that too. That's pretty cool in my opinion. Again, you can find full-time, part-time if you're just looking for that. I want to show you another really fun feature. Let's go back to jobs. What if you're like, hey, John, I like my job. I'm just looking for some extra cash on the side. Well, I gotcha. I gotcha. If you go to job type, you could do contract and you can click that thing and it could show you here are some contracting jobs all over the place. One that I do want to show you is Upwork. So I could also do this right here where it says jobs and companies. I can pick companies. Here, you could search for Upwork because I used to do a lot of work on Up. I don't do much work on Upwork anymore. But here you could see these are all kind of side gig contracting jobs if you want to go do it. And you could just click it, learn more about it. What's this one? Domo developer needed for data transformation and dashboard creation. That sounds perfect, right? You could do that thing, you could apply for it. Boom, you have it right there. So what I'm trying to do is put it all into one spot for you to make it easy for you to find jobs if you're in the market to look. Now, I do have another cool feature that I think it's cool. Uh, Check this out. If I go to companies, you could see a list of all the companies that I have in my job board right now. So there's one at Zillow, there's one at NBC, one at PlayStation. That's pretty cool. I want to show you this one. Mhm. Hey, what if you want to work for Domo? There you go. You can see here the open jobs happening at Domo right now that you can apply to. So that's the first thing I wanted to show you. I think it's pretty cool. I think it's helpful. I have already have beta tested this with some other people, and they're loving it. Actually, one guy I'm helping him interview for a Domo job, not at Domo, but a job that requires Domo. He has an interview tomorrow, so we've been working on that. Anyway, I thought that's pretty cool. Hopefully, you think it's cool too, and I would love to see some scuba symbols if you think it's pretty amazing. Awesome, cool, good, love it, love it, love it, love it. So it's all in one spot for you there. Okay, now I have some extra surprises for you. So this was this was me as a baby before I had long hair. And my first company that I started was called College to Consulting. And what I did at College Consulting is I help people get ready for a job, get ready for job interviews, specifically consulting, management consulting. And if you've ever done management consulting, there's something called a case interview, which is actually there's some structure required. You get a business problem, you have to figure it out. Whatever, doesn't matter. But we worked on how to do resumes, cover letters, how to do case interviews, situational interviews, behavioral, all that stuff. And here, for instance, on Upwork, you could see here's how I write my description, my cover letters, whatever, and I have this 100% job success, so I was pretty happy with that. Now I want to show you all a lesson today to help you out a little bit. What helps me out when I'm ever telling my qualifications, whether it be on a resume, an in-person interview, on a story, whatever, is I use this thing called the STAR method. You might have heard it, and I changed a little bit. So STAR usually stands for situation, task, action, result. But I'm a fan of changing that T to a trouble. What did you do? Why did it suck? What was the action? And then what was the result? So I want to show you an example. Normally, people talk like this. Here's my situation. Here is my task. Here's what I was supposed to do. Here's what I did. And then here's the action. Here's the result. Pretty straightforward. I'm a fan of this. Make it look bad. Here's what the situation was. Why did it suck? What was so bad about it? What did you do? And what was the result? And this little difference is going to tell the story very, very differently. So here's an example. A lot of people, when they're telling their stories on the resume, cover letter, during an interview, they tend to just say something like this. I was responsible for modeling the customer population at United Airlines. Sure, cool, whatever, fine. Our brains are not computers. We don't take in information like that. We are adept for stories, storytelling. So if I were to say the exact same thing a little bit differently, you're going to see if it sticks better. I created a frequent flyer forecasting model by leveraging seasonality and individual patterns, those be flight patterns, which resulted in being within 1% variance of the actual value and saving 9 million in costs. Same thing, but the story's told differently, right? We're telling more about the result. Then in your interview, you can say, well, why did it suck? It sucked because the person who came before me just applied a straight line average month over month without any reasoning behind it. And so we were off by 20% variance, which has an implication on costs for the amount of benefits we buy our frequent flyers and all this other stuff. So I was able to say, hey, if John Lee flies like he did last year, say he's going to fly exactly the same. If he doesn't, default him to the seasonality trend, and as a result, we got it within 1%. Those little changes will help you become more memorable so that somebody understands your story so they know that you have the capability to do what you're supposed to do. Cool. And then here is an example of after helping somebody with their resume, going through this and putting it on. This person, Steven, said, I was in desperate need of a professional to help me highlight my latest success. Without John's help, I don't think my applications would have ever made it to a single recruiter. John knows exactly what to write, how to format it, and how to make your resume stand out amongst the crowd. Cool. So why am I showing you this? Because if you go here, there is a bottom section. Get it. If you are currently Dashboard Dudes members, you know this already. You get 30 minutes with me every month for free. You can totally now use that for cover letter help, resume help. If you want to apply for a job on Upwork or a contractor, I'll help you craft all that stuff. If you want to just use it for behavioral interviews, you're prepping for an interview, you can feel free to book time with me and we'll get I will help you get as prepared for that as much as possible. Cool. So you have that. How I feeling? Making sense? Loving it so far? Hopefully you are. Cool. Give me some scuba symbols if you are. Good. Love hearing it. Awesome. Cool. Cool. Love it. All right. That's number two. Let's talk about getting it now. So now, after all that, you got the job. Fantastic. Let's talk about keeping it. What we want to do is we want to be in a position to keep the job and to exceed expectations. And if anybody has been in management consulting, your review time is a very important time because that determines your bonus. And you get rated on a 1, 2, 3, 4. It's some type of scale like that. And that could be huge implications for how much money you get from your bonus. It could be like you get $20,000 extra, you get $5,000 extra. And so we want to have you in a way where you can keep your job, exceed and get that exceeds expectation rating, that 4, so you can, get a bigger bonus, do a better job, all that other stuff. So I kind of want to show you how I do this when I'm working with new clients, when I'm on Upwork, pitching work, and I show them like why I'm good. So you can have this, and I hope you use it with your future employers or whatnot. So the first thing is I need to show them that I understand what's happening. If somebody ever shows me an ETL that they're working on, I usually like to say, give me like a day to read it. If it's an easy one, no problem. But if it's a massive one, like give me a day. I like to understand what's happening in there. And then when I look at the ETL, I like to say, oh, that could be fixed. That nothing is labeled in here. There are no sticky notes. There's too many crosses happening over here. Too many outputs are happening. But at least I'm coming to the table next time we talk with recommendations as opposed to just continuing on their existing ETL. And you could totally do that, but when you show recommendations, you show you have domain authority, that you know what you're talking about. Cool. Then what I do is, you know me, I'm big into cooking. I like to break things down to my clients as you either have an ingredients problem, you have a cooking problem, or you have a plating problem. What I mean by that, or you have all three. What I mean by that is ingredients problems could be the data you're bringing in is trash, or you have a hard time bringing it in. It's something needs to be fixed there. That's one area where you can show that we can improve. The second area that we can show is cooking. Hey, maybe your ETL, your transforms, your SQL, maybe that could be more efficient. Awesome. And the last piece is plating. I tell people this, you can make the most amazing food, but if it doesn't look good, no one's going to want to eat it. So we can talk about plating, making a better UX so that somebody ingests that food easier. And when I do this with my old managers, with new work that I'm trying to pitch for, they love this because it shows that this guy knows what he's talking about. So you should do that, or at least this is my recommendation. You should do that when you are looking to either get new work or you are in a job and you show that to your boss, you will look like, okay, this person knows what they're doing. Full trust. We're gonna get on this exceeds expectation boat. And then the last part I have is make it scalable. So if you've ever worked with me, you know that I like to put a lot of labels in the ETLs and I like to make videos. Especially when I'm handing off work, I don't really like to write a huge Word doc. I like to make Loom videos because that way somebody can watch me. And doing little things like that makes you just go look like you're going above and beyond. So even if your work, if you were to make little videos using Loom or using whatever video recording tool that you have, you're gonna look like you're really ahead of the curve to help you out. Cool. And then another thing that you can do is if you are in your current job and you're like, huh, I already know how what I'm doing pretty well, but I don't know how to get that exceeds. You have this. So if I go back to here, sure, I'll go here. On the customer center where I have all these courses for you, I have a table of contents down here that tells you what's in every single course. So you can say, hey, you know what? I'm really good at ETLs, sure, whatever, but I'm not so good at App Studio. Boom, I have it right here. So you can see here are some things. Here's a pathway for what you can start to work on to master. So you could bring it to work, show that you're doing it, and really impress your boss and your boss's boss and your boss's boss. But you could see I actually had a client this past week who asked me if I knew anything about the Domo data science package. I'm like, I have a course on it. Boom. I had somebody who asked me if I knew how to use this open layers map. I'm like, I got a course on it. But I'm always trying to be ahead. So the same thing, if you can show that you know how to use it, you're going to look fantastic. Cool. All right. Here are a couple things too, a couple other parts. I want to tell you this story. We won't read this whole thing, but Emmanuel is awesome. Emmanuel's a one of the Dashboard Dudes members, and he said that he was looking at an ETL for 6 hours and he could not figure out why it was not working, why the answers were not correct. He uses 30 minutes with me. And I looked at it, I said, hey, can I see that? Can I see that join? And he opened it up and I'm like, you got to fix that thing. We got to actually make this in a pen, not a join. And done. We were done. In 30 minutes, he said, John, I just spent 6 hours looking at this thing and you figured out in 30 minutes. I'm like, because I'm a nerd, because I'm in this thing every single day. And he showed it to his boss. His boss was super happy. And he told me like, I can't believe I got that out in time. And his boss doesn't know I exist, right? I'm just like Cyrano. I'm in the bushes, just whispering how to do things. So you have the ability to do that with me with your 30 minutes if you need me to help you with something. This other person, Andy, said, if I could give John a 6 out of 5, I would. John did a great job in a short period of time at the last minute. He knows his stuff. Thanks for saving my bacon. Cool. So there you go. The Cyrano reference. I know I'm learned. I've read a book once, but you have that. Uh, okay. One more thing. Hey, if you are a manager and you're like, I love all this stuff, but I don't want any of my direct reports to see it because I don't want them looking for a new Domo job. That's totally cool. What I did is I made this actually a course in the system that I use. So I can easily just say, hey, you could still get access to Dashboard Dudes. I'm just going to remove the course for anybody who reports to you, and they will not get access to any of this stuff. They don't see it. But by default, everybody who is a Dashboard Dudes member, you will get all this. Cool. All right. So just a fast review. What we have here, if you joined late or whatnot, is uh, it's really hard to find a Domo job right now, but I promise you, if you get it, you land it, you have a lot of job security, a lot of opportunity for growth. And uh, here in our page, right here under job board, this is the cool thing. You could find new Domo jobs that can either be part-time, full-time, remote, close by to you, whatever you want. You could actually choose to work at Domo if you wanted to explore that opportunity. Or you can look for more contracting work through Upwork, or you can also just say, just show me jobs right here that are contract. And there we go. We got some other cool ones. So that's the first step. If you find something or you just want extra help with your resume, cover letter, portfolio, behavior interview, situational, whatever, grab some time with me. You get 30 minutes with me free every month as a Dashboard Tunes member, so it's right there for you. And later, if you are looking to exceed expectations in your current career, you can refer to the table of contents that I have for all the courses that I have there, or you just book more time with me, your 30 minutes again, and we'll work on whatever you're trying to fix to make it more efficient so you can impress your boss. Cool. All right. Everybody doing okay? How we feeling? Let me see some scuba symbols. Yeah. Awesome. Love it, love it, love it. Cool. Thanks, everybody. Love it. Okay. So with that, I just want to do one last thing. If you give me some time, I want to talk to you about the Dashboard Dudes membership. If you are currently not a member, you can sign up, and I have links at the bottom, and I'll email you everything too, for a 14-day trial. I'm a big fan of. Give it a shot, see how you like it. And what you get included is you get all the courses that I have available. I have Domo 101, 201, all the way through how to use App Studio, distribution. Next week, I'm actually releasing workflows. I've been churning that out, so I'm just editing those, and I'm going to put them out for everybody to use. I'm learning how to use workflows. You can see here, Marco said the Dashboard Dudes course is an excellent introduction to Domo. Not only does John present all the tools in an easy and informative way, but shows you how those tools can become the final product. On top of the technical expertise John brings, he also provides helpful tips that make your dashboard look the cleanest. In addition, you get the 30 minutes with me. Like I said, I kind of went through that, so you can book time with me on that. This one, I will send you a newsletter just once a month. That's it, the first Monday of the month. I'm not trying to spam anybody, and I show you here's the latest and greatest happening with data stuff. So that way, if you want to know what's going on, you have one source and it's not bombarding you. Cool. How are they better sorted? Great. Let's ask this question. So Steve had a question about how are the opportunities sorted on the page. Let's go take a look. Right now, it's by recency. It's for whatever came in first, or the latest. Sorry, the latest. So it's sorted by default by this was just pulled a day ago, 2 days ago, 2 days ago, a week ago, all that other stuff. But you can sort it by however you want. Some other stuff in here. You can also say, I only want jobs that are within a 10-mile radius or 5 mile of where I live, all that stuff. So hopefully that helps you out. Cool. Okay. Awesome. Our jobs posting focus in the US. They are in the US, but I can turn that filter off. I have it defaulted to US, but I can open it up to maybe US and Canada if we want to. So tell me, and I'll open up that filter on the back end. Yeah, maybe US and Canada. We'll open that up. Australia. Let's go for it. You give me some Tim Tams, you bribe me with some Tim Tams, and I'll put up. All right. I guess we're just opening up to the world. I'll do that. It is no problem for me. It's easy on my end. So I'll open it up. So, but then I want Tim Tams. I want some Milo hot chocolate mix. I'm showing you that I'm pretty worldly on here. Okay, cool. Love it. So you get this newsletter with me. This is what Kristen said. Amazing course with detailed and easy to follow instruction. John makes Domo digestible, and his team has allowed us to use Domo to tell powerful stories with our data. And the last thing, in addition to all that other stuff in the job board, is you get this library that if you ever have questions on how to do stuff, I have a lot of videos of FAQs, how to answer stuff. And so Brooklyn said the course has really helped me get myself familiarized with Domo, and truly thanks to John, he's a great teacher, very informative, and keeps me encouraged to continue learning. Also, the bonus cooking videos, right? If you are brand new, after every one of those courses that I showed you, I have a cooking video at the end showing you how to make butter, baguettes, spring rolls, whatever. So you get that. So yes, if you are interested, you can, if you are not a Dashboard Dudes member, you can get a 14-day trial by either scanning this QR code or going to dashboarddudes.com/trial. It's $97 a month. You can cancel whenever you want. I'm not a fan of locking people into anything. But if you do want to do an annual, you could do an annual. You get to save 2 months on that. But I would say, hey, if you're interested in finding and look at this job thing, just do the trial. Check it out, give it a shot, see what you like. Hopefully you find a new job. My thing is to try to be helpful. I really want to be helpful because I'll tell you a very fast personal story. My parents are immigrants from Vietnam. They came during the war as refugees. And in Chicago, there are like no Vietnamese people. And my mom and dad really help people find jobs. So you imagine people who don't speak the language have literally like zero with them, no cash, no bags, no clothes with them. And my mom and dad were able to help a lot of people find jobs, whether it be custodians or accountants and all this other stuff. My dad worked at O'Hare Airport, so he just was able to really help out. And every New Year, every Asian New Year, I grew up in a high rise. Uh, these people would come by and they would buzz our doorman. It would be like, "We brought this gift. We brought this gift as a thank you." and give it to your parents. And my dad would be like, go downstairs, get the gift, tell them we're not home. I'm like, so you just want me to lie to these people that are so thankful for you? So, but I go downstairs, I get these little New Year's gifts, and I would bring it back up. And then my parents would later call them, say, oh, we were just out. Again, I don't know why. I think they just didn't want to be bombarded by being thanked. But that's why I do this because it reminds me of my parents, reminds me of all the stuff that they've done for people to help them out. So I want to be helpful too. So this dashboard dude stuff is here for you to hopefully find a new job. I would be extremely happy to help you prepping your cover letters, resumes, behavioral questions, all that stuff to get you in a good spot so that you can really find the job that you're looking for. Cool. All right. That's it for me. If you have questions, I will stay on. I will answer these questions. I will email you this video, and I'm very happy to work with you in the future about all this cool stuff. Awesome. All right. Good. Cool, cool, cool. All right, everybody. Thank you very much. I'll stay on for a couple. Feel free to ask me any questions. Bribe me with international foods if you want me to open this up to other countries. We'll make it work.